Well, there are just 48 hours of GT Academy left, and behind me, Des Foley, winner of the UK and Ireland competition, is going through some final fitness stuff with the 5 other contestants. It's a tense time for them, and Des has had an unbelievably tricky week. There have been ups, there have been downs, but he's got to block all of that out because the next 2 days will decide his racing future. Will he be the one to go and race in Dubai?
I'm Des Foley, I'm 24 and I'm from Ireland. I'm a part-time photographer and musician. If somebody offered me a racing contract, I'd drop absolutely everything.
In just 48 hours, Des Foley will battle in the final challenge of GT Academy on Silverstone's Grand Prix circuit. If he wins, he will start his career as a professional racing driver, earning a seat at one of the world's toughest endurance races, the Dubai 24 Hours. But it won't be easy. He'll have to race in the middle of the World Endurance Championships, with both spectators and race teams looking on. Just to get to this point, Des has beaten almost 1 million hopefuls in both online time trials and a national final event. He knows that the outcome of the final challenge will change his life forever. But there are 5 other gamers who share Des's dream to race in Dubai.
Wolfgang Ripe representing Belgium, Hugo Goncalves for Portugal, Sebastian Bertrand for France, Rolf Oski for Switzerland, Des Foley for Ireland, Andrea Casaro.
Green. Welcome to GT Academy. Welcome to Silverstone.
At the beginning of the Academy Week, 36 of the fastest gamers from across Europe were divided into different territories, each led by a panel of highly experienced racing driver mentors, including Johnny Herbert, Sebastian Buemi, Danny Kloss, René Arnoux, and Vitantonio Luzzi. The mentors designed a series of challenges to test the different skills that the gamers would need to become an endurance racer.
Well, fix the thing.
They started with basic car control and taught the gamers how weight distribution can affect the performance of a car. As the week progressed, the challenges got more advanced.
At the moment, they are not ready, far from ready for Dubai.
And the number of gamers got smaller. By the end of the week, the remaining few had to prove that they had made the transition from gamer to racing driver.
That's a real driver.
The mentors were looking for lightning-fast reactions. An ability to master the racing line. And enough mental strength to stay cool in aggressive racing situations.
He's doing it on the inside!
Only yesterday, the most promising gamers were selected to move forward into the final challenge.
When he needed to do it, he was able to actually do it. So I think that was a very good thing on his part.
Des had the tough task of impressing Formula One legend and winner of the British Grand Prix, Johnny Herbert, and endurance race specialist Rob Barff to win the UK and Ireland territory. But his week wasn't plain sailing.
Big skier. Yeah.
To be 100% when you drive a car is important, I think, and I'm not there, and that's it.
On day 1, Des was the standout driver for the judges when they were put into the sports cars.
I think the main one is Des, to be honest. He was the quickest.
Good job, well done, mate. Thank you.
But then he started to lose his way.
Tyre. There's a tyre clip, mate. Sorry? Clip the tyre then. All right.
With Des, there's always that apprehension that he's going to make a mistake and whiz off the track and your race will be over.
He's the type of character where he'll either be up or he'll be down. If he doesn't do so well, then expect him to be on the floor.
Before long, he was fighting for his place at the Academy and had to prove himself in an elimination race-off.
Fist pump visible from pit wall.
He proved to Rob and Johnny that he had the most potential and was worthy of representing the UK and Ireland territory in the final challenge.
The stopwatch never lies. We've gone with the quickest man.
The guys want someone who's in control of the car, not someone who can just do a quick lap every now and then. And yeah, I think they found that with me.
The first challenge Des faces today is qualifying.
For qualifying, I think consistency is going to be key. So I think just making as few mistakes as possible, but keeping a quick pace as well. For me, the aim would be for a top 3 position, really.
The gamers will get a 20-minute session to set their fastest time on Silverstone's Grand Prix circuit. Their lap times will dictate their place on the grid for tomorrow's final challenge.
Basically, when they go off of the racing line, 1 car and a bit.
Yeah. Do you recommend though braking like 6 foot inside off the racing line as well, and then cutting through the line and then keep it wide?
Yes, yeah, and then, yes. Yeah. The racing line will always be rubbery and horrible. So.
Think about keeping the momentum up, be nice and smooth through the quick stuff, particularly with the steering.
Interestingly enough, the number 1 car at the moment, Sebastian Bertrand, the French guy, is the one they all want to chase. Des is right on his tail, and Bertrand fishtailed around this corner a bit, and Des is looking very steady.
Yeah, that's for Des. It's very a positive thing. He's seeing someone else on track, he's learning about lines, he's having to think about it. I think he's up for it. I think he's really, really keen to get this job done.
But Des's promising start doesn't last long. He's feeling the pressure and struggling to find the right braking points.
A lot of nervous faces here from right across Europe, and we've got a screen coming up with all their lap times at the moment, and Wolfgang Riep is absolutely nailing it. Our man Des Foley's down in 5th place. He's 1.8 seconds behind the leading man in qualifying at the moment.
With just minutes to go in qualifying, Des has dropped down the order. The front row of the grid has become a battle between Wolfgang Riep from Belgium and Hugo Goncalves from Portugal.
Wolfie! Come on! Woohoo! You're killer!
Wolfie closes out the session in pole position. Hugo from Portugal is second, with 3rd place going to the early leader Sebastian Bertrand from France. Des will start tomorrow's race from 5th.
We're going to have to focus on positives.
He's got good car control. That's the good thing with Des. And of course, in those conditions, you want car control. Now we've just got to get that raw speed out of him.
You're 5th on the grid, 1.8 seconds off pole. But you were 2nd for the first couple of laps. You had cracking start to the session.
Well, it was insane. I mean, that was it, dropped in right at the deep end. Had a good few laps to begin the session, and then it just dropped away as the rain kind of became a bit of a distraction, I think.
Although Des is disappointed, Johnny and Rob want him to learn from his mistakes before he takes on the final challenge.
A big lift or a light brake, both have the same effect.
Yeah, that braking issue again. There seemed to be a lot of sort of braking and then a real hard stab on it.
The way you come off the brakes is equally, or even more so, as important as you go on them.
It's 8 p.m. the night before the race, and the gamers have now put the earlier qualifying session to the back of their minds.
Okay, I realise this looks really bizarre, but it's quite normal in the world of motor racing. Often they do this by foot, but you can cycle it. This is quite a long circuit. The guys are basically doing a full lap of the Grand Prix circuit because they need to see every single lump and bump. So Rob has given them some hints and tips.
If you come off the brakes and turn, you'll just cause the car to understeer.
I don't really give a monkeys, because I'm on a bike on the grid at Silverstone, baby. Woohoo!
This is the gamers' last chance to study the track before tomorrow's race.
A cycle around the track enables you to take in all the little details. You can spot ripples and contours in the tarmac. You can take in a massive amount more information.
Trail braking in here all the way. Keep the weight on the car's nose.
Sometimes when you go through a corner really fast, you don't really understand how severe the bend can be. And when you're actually standing out of it, you can look and you can get a feel for where to brake and where you need to clip. Right now we're looking at dry lines pretty much, but if it rains tomorrow, we're going to have to take a completely different approach.
Guys, be really, really careful here in the rain. If you stay on the power, the car will rotate and will turn into the wall. Nissan, GT370Z will lose in a head-to-head battle with a 1.5 metre high concrete wall.
You get on the grippy line when it's wet, it's actually just even slippier. You have to take a completely different line through the corners. That's uncharted territory for all of us. If that happens, it'll be very much who adapts the quickest.